Alright, everybody, welcome back to Major Gaming, and today we're going over my second character wish list that I kept separate from my first character wish list for Marvel Rivals for a reason. This list is going to be comprised entirely of guest characters that I want in the game. I know guest characters in any game are a touchy subject for whatever fucking reason. But I want to do this list and I'm gonna do it. So yeah. Um, yeah. I already made a wish list about my top 20 Marvel characters that I want in Marvel Rivals, and I do believe, obviously, we should focus on getting as many Marvel characters in the game as possible first, especially the popular ones. But I do feel like if this game lasts 10 years, whatever, there'll be a point where it's going to be a struggle getting new Marvel characters, especially when they're doing a character every month and a half. Like, I get it, Marvel's a big universe with a lot of characters, but there's only so many ways you can, like, make a character interesting when we already have like 30 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, event, like, you can only have so many Spider-Men, you can only have so many Hulks in the game before it starts to get a little iffy on like characters being made that are unique gameplay wise. So I do think, and I know the creators of Marvel Rivals, they already said they're not gonna add guest characters, no guest characters, whatever, I don't care. I feel like if they start running out of ideas and the community pushes to get guest characters in the game, I think they'll change their minds. Companies want money. They want players playing their games. Even if they have, I guarantee you, even if they charged money to have you use the guest characters, people would buy them. Specifically the guest characters, because they have to license them out and pay for the licenses. If they actually did it where they're like, all right, we have to get these guest characters and we have to license them out, so we have to have you pay $5 for any guest characters that come in. There's no way they wouldn't like make money. That's not an unreasonable request, You want licensed guest characters? Well, you gotta pay a little bit extra. I feel like that's very reasonable, and anybody who says differently is on fucking crack or something, because, like, that's a very fucking reasonable request. But you get what I'm saying, like, I feel like eventually it might be a good idea to introduce guest characters if they can. Maybe like a couple. We're going over, I think I have 8 on this list right now. I couldn't think of many more that would be worth it. There were a couple honorable mentions like Witchblade from Image Comics and a couple others from Image Comics that are like lower level characters that I couldn't really justify putting on the list. Also another honorable mention that I thought of because of the Powerpuff Girls trailer that came out recently would be the Powerpuff Girls, but as adults, or at least like older teenagers. I feel like that'd be kind of fun, to have the Powerpuff Girls in the game, but like, it's also like the Powerpuff Girls, so I'm like, they don't. I tried to make this list stick to comics, like characters with comic adaptations at least. So that's, whether it's DC or Marvel did the comics, I just want these characters to have comic adaptations and to actually fit the vibe of Marvel Rivals. Which, an older version of Powerpuff Girls might, Generator Rex is also an honorable mention, but I didn't think he would work out super well with how his powers work, Like, that would be kind of crazy, just have giant fists, just, yeah. Like, it would be cool, but, I think Generator Rex Salazar is like the honorable mention that is not on the list, but could very well be on the list. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead. I know people are already coping and seething over the fact that they see Superman on my list right now. So first up, and this list is going from my least wanted to most wanted. So, Superman, my least wanted on this list, but he's fucking Superman, bro. Like, I don't understand the issue here. I just like I get it. DC and Marvel are competition, even though they've said multiple times they just want the superhero genre to exceed and do well and be successful in general because it helps both of them. Like, if one's failing, it's not helping the other. So, like, so I think Superman would be really cool. I think he would be the person to represent a DC Comics character in Marvel Rivals. I don't think it should be Batman because we already have Moon Knight, which kind of moves like Batman, and then Batman is just. I'm gonna hot take. Hot take. I love Batman. I love him. I love the character. There's a little too much Batman going on right now. We need more DC representation that isn't fucking Batman or a Batman villain, okay? Put Superman in the game. He is one of the most popular DC characters to exist. He makes sense in the game. He'd be a flying vanguard that could shoot laser beams. I almost considered putting a Homelander on the list instead of Superman. At the end of the day, why not have the original Superman and not the cracked out evil version of Superman, you know? And I feel like Superman would fit better, tonally wise. Homelander would be kind of wild. It'd be interesting, but I feel like if you're gonna put, unless they can't get the Superman license, obviously, which I don't think they ever would, I'd maybe then replace him with Homelander, but at this point, I'd much prefer Superman as my list, in my opinion. So I think Superman be sick. I don't know what his ult would be. Maybe like he goes into golden Superman mode, or like he absorbs the sun and becomes like golden Superman and gets like a power boost or something. That might be cool. But yeah, I don't know exactly what he would do, but I'm sure it'd be something cool. And then obviously he has super speed, flight, laser beams. Like he'd be sick. I think he's the only he'd be the only character with really laser beams. I don't know many Marvel characters that have the laser eyes, other than like Icarus or maybe Sentry. But I don't know a lot that have the laser eyes, and I feel like that'd be pretty sick to bring into the game. So yeah, that my first on the list, Superman. Next on the list, Optimus Prime. Transformers have comics. He fits my criteria. He's on the list, obviously as a Vanguard. I feel like it'd be really cool to have like a really big character. Not like huge, but like a bigger character that is like a bullet sponge that can like do lots of damage but moves really slow. I feel like that would fit Optimus Prime really well. He has weapons like his blaster and his sword and axe thing. Like, he has plenty of weapons to use, and he's just a giant robot. And I feel like he'd be fucking cool. Like, it'd be awesome if his ult voice line is like, Autobots, roll out! And he, like, turns into the truck and just drives forward. I feel like that'd be kind of fun for his ult. I don't think they could do the truck as part of his moveset, but as an ult where he goes, Autobots, roll out, and just transforms into his truck and dashes forward and knocks out everyone, I feel like that'd be fun. Yeah, I feel like that would be cool. Transformers is kind of underrated. I get why they're not as popular anymore, but I still feel like there's something about them that keeps them going, and I feel like Optimus Prime would be cool. Yeah, there's not much I could say other than that. I think he'd be cool. Especially if he gets the right voice actor. I forgot what his name is, but the guy who voices him, like, that'd be iconic as fuck. Like, I forgot his name. Isn't like James Earl Jones? Is that the guy who did Mufasa? Doesn't he also do Optimus Prime? I'm not sure. I might have that wrong, but yeah. Next on the list, Hellboy. One of my favorite movies growing up was the first Hellboy movie with Ron Perlman. I really like Hellboy. I think he'd fit the supernatural vibe that this game is kind of missing, other than like Moon Knight. But I feel like he'd fit really well with like Moon Knight and Ghost Rider and shit. And yeah, I think he'd be a cool duelist, maybe a Vanguard, but I think duelist would fit better because he uses his gun and his hand. You know, I just feel like that'd be a little bit better. And I feel like his ult would be really cool, where he like grows his horns and he gets like the crown on his head. He like brings upon the apocalypse like in the movie, and he just fucking gets like this huge power up. I feel like that'd be really cool. Or like something, or like he unleashes a bunch of demons that like crawl out of the ground and start grabbing at people, or something like that. I feel like that'd be really cool. Maybe give him a sword. I think he has a sword in the movies or something like that, and like have him like fucking go magic on him. I feel like that'd be really cool. Yeah, because the Golden Army, the second movie, when he brings upon the apocalypse, he summons like a bunch of monsters. I'm pretty sure, like, I haven't watched those movies in a while, but I just feel like Hellboy would be really cool. I feel like he'd fit the vibe. He was in Injustice 2, and he fit the vibe there, so I feel like he'd be pretty dope in Marvel Rivals. Next up, Yoda. Now, these Star Wars comics are actually made by Marvel, which is kind of cool. But I feel like if we're going to get a Star Wars character, I know a lot of people will want Darth Vader, but no. Yoda. Yoda as a duelist would be sick. Running around as little Yoda, fucking flinging fucking lightsabers everywhere. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but I fuck with Yoda. So I think Yoda would be sick. He has the Force and the lightsabers. It'd be hilarious if his voice line for his ult goes like, "There is no do," or "There is no try, only do," or that line he says, and then like his lightsaber just starts flying around him, and he's using the Force to like fling the lightsaber around him in like a big circle as he's fighting. I feel like that'd be sick. Like the lightsaber is just flying around him in a big circle above his head, doing damage, and he's just walking around with the lightsaber, like blocking damage too. That'd be cool. A move they have, like an actual parry, where like he activates it and it blocks the bullets and reflects them back. Like, that'd be sick. Like, Yoda would be sick, bro. Like, you can't tell me he wouldn't be sick. I don't know if he fits the superhero vibe, but fuck it. He'd just be too damn cool. Like doing, like, melee moves, like, combos where he's, like, flinging the lightsaber around and then pushing people back with the Force. That'd be sick. That'd be sick. I think Yoda would be sick. His voice lines would be fun. Like, I think that'd be really cool. Alright. Next up, TMNT. And they're the only strategist on this list, because honestly it was hard as fuck coming up with strategist ideas. But I actually got one with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I feel like they deserve it. They're a very popular franchise. They started out as comic book characters, and I think they'd fit really well in the game. And there's one way to do it that I think would be really cool, kind of like the Cloak and Dagger thing. But instead of switching between two characters, you're switching between all four. I feel like that'd be sick. Like, you have Raph, who could, like, give himself overhealth and be kind of like the tank strategist, where he's blocking a ton of damage, kind of like Doctor Strange or Magneto, where he's just tanking a ton of damage and giving himself overhealth and doing melee damage. That'd be sick. Leonardo and Mikey, I feel like would be more like the duelists, where Leonardo's doing shit with his swords and doing, like, more acrobatic moves, and then Mikey is, like, riding around on his skateboard. I feel like it might be cool if like Mikey could like ride around on his skateboard and throw pizzas. That'd be fun. That'd be funny as fuck. He's just riding on his skateboard, you just get a pizza to the face. Or like if you throw a pizza at your teammates, they get health or something. I don't know. I feel like that'd be fun. I know it sounds stupid, but like having him use his skateboard and nunchucks as like moves, where he's like riding on his skateboard and he does shit with his nunchucks, and that, I feel like a high mobility character, that'd be really fun. And then Donatello would be the main strategist, where he's putting out traps and stuff that can damage allies, but then also he has like things that can heal his teammates, and then he has his staff. I just feel like being able to switch between all of them, like I picture it like and for people who would be like, oh, that's not very realistic, they don't just switch. Bro, we have a shark that can swim on walls. I don't care. So what I'm going to suggest in order to make it realistic about how they switch is that like when you switch, one just flips off screen and the other flips on screen, and then all of a sudden and then like each one maybe has like like a certain button, or like maybe it's on a certain rotation to flip through, and you could just keep flipping until you get the one you want, and they're good in certain situations. Like I feel like that'd be a really cool strategist. And I just feel like it would work really well. And I want, if we get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I want them all together as one character, because I feel like that'd just be sick. Like, you get to use all of them, because if you make them 4 separate characters, you could, but then that's just all 4, that's 4 characters worth of work, and I feel like that's not necessary. Just make, I mean, I guess it's 4 characters worth of work anyway, because you gotta give them all separate movesets and abilities, but like, it'd just be cooler if they were all like working together as a team. I feel like that just fits the TMNT. Yeah, but yeah. So that's I want all 4 as one character. Let's do it. Come on. Ben 10, one of my favorite superheroes of all time. I know Ben 10. He's not necessarily a comic character, but he has comics. Ben 10 is underrated, bro. Like, he is literally probably the biggest and most well-made superhero outside of DC and Marvel. Like, and people don't put respect on Ben 10's name. Y'all gotta put respect on this man's name, bro. Because, like, he's a huge character. And it just works. Like, he's a superhero. He is the superhero for so many kids. He's still a huge superhero. Like, and the only issues I see with Ben 10 is just the fact that he's so versatile. It might be hard to nail down an actual, like, a set of abilities for him because of how versatile and how much he can do. I feel like that'd be a struggle. He could just do too much. He has too much abilities. He has too many, like, things to use. It would be kind of hard. I almost considered making him a strategist instead of a vanguard, but I don't think he would heal anyone. I think which I know isn't necessarily a strategist thing. You don't have to, because they're strategists, but, like, they all have healing. So, like, you kind of expect them to have healing. Like, until they make a strategist that has no healing capabilities, I'm not going to expect a character that can be a strategist that can't heal. Like, that makes no sense. So, until they do it, until then, I can't put Ben 10 as a strategist, but Vanguard, I think, works well for him. I feel like it'd be dope if he could... I don't know how many aliens they could give him. Probably not many. Probably 3 at most. It'd be cool if, like, when he's Ben 10, he has, like, his blaster, plumber blaster. But then, like, your moves are switching between different characters, and then, like, you could transform into Swamp Fire, Humongous Storm, Big Chill, or something like that. Like, you know, you get, like, 3 different aliens, and each one kind of fits one of the roles a little bit, and then, like, each alien has their own move sets once you transform into them, but then after a while you have to transform back, and then it goes on a cooldown, and then you could use a different alien. Like, I feel like that'd be pretty cool. And I know Ben 10, he has so many options, so it'd be so hard to pick 3 aliens, even then, like, 3 aliens is a lot of work, so I know it'd be a pain in the ass to do, but I would love it so much. I would pay $20 for Ben 10 in this game. Like, that would be my main. I would love him. I would, you know, like, he's my character. He's one of the biggest superheroes. Warner is fumbling the bag with him right now, not doing anything with him. Like, it's crazy. It really is crazy how they're just fumbling Ben 10 so hard lately, but he is underrated. And it'd be awesome if his ult is he goes, Alien X, and he turns into Alien X, and he can, like, he gets, like, a super power boost where he can fly and stuff, and then, like, I thought it'd be really cool is if whenever Alien X kills a teammate, you can bring back another teammate that recently died, like a revive. I feel like that'd be really cool. Kind of like Adam Warlock's, but, like, or kind of like a mix of Adam Warlock's ult and then Hela's ability with Thor, where you kill someone and then another teammate gets brought back. That'd be sick. But yeah, I feel like Ben 10 is just like a really cool character, and I feel like his ult would be crazy if you just go Alien X and fucking just go ham. Like that'd be great. But yeah, I think Ben 10 would work. It's just I don't think it's likely. I think it'd be a lot of work, but I think it'd be awesome. All right, next up, Spawn. I feel like Spawn works very well. He has guns, chains, supernatural elements. Like, what else can you say about Spawn? He fought hell. He fought the devil and God and won. Like he's fucking crazy. He has a dope story. He's dark. He's a dark character. He fits well with the whole Moon Knight Ghost Rider deal. Death Battle actually recently did a Spawn versus Ghost Rider Death Battle that was pretty cool, and I just feel like Spawn would work perfectly in this game, theme wise, gameplay wise. Like, there's not much to say that Spawn wouldn't work other than he's a guest character. You know, I don't know what his ult would be exactly. Maybe like he opens up his cape like in Mortal Kombat with one of his fatalities and a bunch of guns are just shooting downwards, kind of like Wolverine, but with guns. He's like, whoa, and the guns just start blasting right away. Kind of like Pharah's ult in Overwatch. I feel like that might be kind of cool. But yeah, I feel like Spawn would be a sick character. He has his axe, chains, guns, like, fuck. He'd be a stance switch character. He'd be like, pull out the axe, but then you got like these two guns. You're like shooting, like, and then like you have a move that like summons a bunch of chains from the ground to stun people. Like, that'd be sick. Like, I don't understand how anyone could not want Spawn. You know. Last up, my number one, Invincible. I love Invincible. I love the show. And Invincible just fits this game perfectly, especially as a Vanguard. Oh yeah, Spawn would be a Vanguard, didn't mention that. But Invincible as a Vanguard, a flying melee Vanguard, that'd be sick. He's just like zooming across the map, flying around, punching people like a stronger, like a crazier Iron Fist. Like that would be sick. I think Invincible just fits this game's vibe so well. And I feel like he's like the most likely guest character that we can get of all of them, but I don't want Omni-Man. Omni-Man is cool, but Invincible is the main character now. He is the character keeping this show going right now. Invincible is the representation for Invincible now, not Omni-Man. I want Invincible. I think it'd be cool if his ult is like Cloak and Daggers, only instead of doing like passive damage and healing, you just and you're just wiping out people as you dash around the map, kind of like in the show, like when he's fighting oh, I shouldn't mention that. Spoilers for the season finale of season 3 of Invincible. If you have not watched it yet, I'm about to spoil it. Do not okay? I'm gonna go real quick. In the season finale of season 3 of Invincible, he fights Conquest, and during that fight, Conquest fucking he grabs it and just flies forward, melting people in Brazil. Like, they're going so fast that arms and shit are flying off. It's crazy, and I feel like that'd be a sick ult where Mark or Invincible is just like doing dashes across the screen and just melting people in like 1 or 2 hits. I feel like that'd be sick. Yeah, I feel like Invincible just fits the game perfectly. And yeah, he's my most wanted guest character. Now, I know we're not going to get any guest characters most likely, but it's just a fun thing to think about, and I wanted to do it. So here we are. Yeah, that'll be it for this video. If you have any other guest character ideas, let me know. Leave a comment about my list, and yeah, don't be a dick, because I know people in there are going to be like, this game doesn't need guest characters. I don't care. Guest characters are fun. They are. So yeah, alright, everyone, have a good day.